Suplementação de qualidade, você já sabe, é no site da Max Titânio Suplementos. E com o cupom SM você tem aquele desconto especial e também fortalece aqui o canal e o link está na descrição.
Based on what Urs Kalaczynski has done, we really have no freaking idea how Chris Bumstead, how Ramon, how Mike Sommerfeld, how all these guys would look in the open. Chris never had an off season, kind of did it for fun after his Olympia victory.
Yeah.
But we don't know how Chris would look. We don't know how Ramon would look. If Urs completely transformed, we have to assume that those guys that are dying to lose weight, they would transform as well, right, Ian?
I agree to a point. I do think that Urs is a little bit more special case in this one because of how dramatic he was pushing down to make that weight cap. Like, you know, he was ready some years at, 255 pounds and cutting down to like 227, I can tell you with zero, like Chris is not pushing down that much, like Chris will be 265 in the off season and then compete at 242, like it's very different in terms of how dramatic the weight cut is. But that's because Chris was really limiting himself in the off season. Right. So yeah, I think that we weren't seeing a Chris that could immediately change, I think, as dramatically as Urs, because Urs was pushing himself down and hindering his look so much because of how dramatic that weight cut had to be, where Chris or someone like that, I don't think is quite dramatic. But do I think, these guys are limiting themselves for 6 months of the year in the off season, that if they had this time now spent to actually being bodybuilders and not just trying to keep their weight low to make their weight cap next year, I definitely think you would see different physiques. I think Ramon is maybe a little closer example to Urs. I think he does have a bit more trouble making the weight cut than Chris does. I don't think it's as dramatic as Urs's, but I still think that would be someone that, if he was given the time and, really didn't have to, put the reins on his weight, that would be a dramatically improved physique as well. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. No, look at this. This is just about perfect front lat spread. I mean, Urs, I was screaming when I saw this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
Legs to waist ratio, that's about the same size. And then flaring lats, thick chest, thick shoulders, taking a space. It's super symmetrical, aesthetic, and powerful. Quinton has a beautiful physique, but you can see he's missing some mass. You packed so much more mass and power. I always say chest is a power muscle, back is the power muscle. And if aesthetic guys have a powerful muscles develop like chest and back, all of a sudden now you have a open bodybuilder with aesthetic physique. Now you are contender in any pro show that you enter, and you are 2 times winner, and you're going to be contender every time you step on a stage, including the Olympia. But as Ian was saying, your chest thickness here, also in the chest in front, your leg pose was something that was probably taking over from Quinton's perfect structure.
Yeah,
those are the points you're beating him, and here is clear for me.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. I mean, especially here, you can see it. I mean, Quinton's making some small posing errors. He's kind of caving in his shoulders to lose a bit of the depth in the chest, which is certainly hurting him. But he's obviously really trying to fight to get that width. But, we do know Quinton, like Milos used the word upstairs. Upstairs just needs a bit more density there, where Urs is not lacking in some of those areas. So it definitely shines in some of these shots, right?
I'm just amazed that we used to criticize Urs in the classic physique for possibly not having big arms, and now he's got these huge arms. I mean, it's just like he was cutting muscle. I mean, he's just, and look at the legs. Look at the legs. I mean, Milos, Ian, look at the legs on this freaking German dude.
Yeah.
His legs are always
Go ahead, Milos.
His legs are always off the chart. I was saying for years, if you see him full, separated, sided glutes, beautiful shape, but you put like 3 more inches on it. So now it's a super powerful legs.
Urs, on this pose here, the lower half, the glutes, the thickness on the quads coming to the sides, the hamstrings, everything is there. But going into the Mr. Olympia, once you hit this back double biceps next to Terrick, next to Hadi, even Samson, who's improved, you're going to have to add possibly a little bit more width and detail for the back. What is your strategy to improve your back double biceps heading to the Mr. Olympia?
I mean, first of all, I need to get the chance to stay next to Hadi, Terrick, and Samson, which I would love to. Don't get it wrong. But yeah, to be honest, the time is what's gonna fix the problem. I train very smart and just extremely hard and work on those weaker areas, I would say. And yeah, let the time fix the problem. So it's my first open season. We can't forget that. And I mean, we just originally we just wanted to see, okay, where are you staying right now and where we need to improve a lot to be competitive. After the second win now and the road to Olympia, we definitely bring our best, but I can't wait for the next off season and then for next year's Olympia to really come fully open Urs.
Knowing what you know now after these 2 shows, where is Urs Kalaczynski going to place at the Olympia?
Between 6th and 10th.
Lain Valliere, you're not afraid of controversy. You're actually the king of controversy.
Hey, I'm retired. I've had no controversy since I've retired, okay? So keep me out of this.
If you have to say, where is Urs Kalaczynski going to place at the Mr. Olympia, where would it be?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's somewhere in that 8 to 12 range. I could see him, comparing well with some of those guys that have kind of been in that range. I think the top 6, I think making in 6, 7 is getting tough, but I think as high as 7 is not out of the question, depending what other guys look like and what he looks like standing next to them. So yeah, I see him somewhere kind of in that range,